So we saw that the only flux coming out of these two surfaces, 1 and this 2, this is surface 1 and this is 2, and for this E is positive and direction of the surface is also positive. Here E is negative as well as direction of the surface is also negative. So it is again positive, this is also positive. So EA plus EA, both the cases it is EA plus EA, that is 2EA. So flux is simply phi is equal to 2EA. Phi is equal to 2EA. Now let us apply the Gauss law to this condition. So as we apply, phi is equal to the E dot delta S, you know, E dot delta S, then is equal to charge enclosed upon epsilon naught. So this E dot delta S is equal to simply 2EA, and since this is a sheet, so we will use surface charge density sigma. Since this is a 2D figure, 2D thing, so we will use sigma, and area where we took this charge density is A. So this is sigma A. This charge Q is simply sigma A upon epsilon naught. So now A cancels out and E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, or in vector form this sigma upon 2 epsilon naught unit vector n, this unit vector n. So this is the consequence of Gauss law, that we found that electric field sigma upon 2 epsilon naught for an infinitely large plane sheet. So this sheet is infinitely large in Z as well as Y directions, and the electric field was only in X and minus X directions. Electric field is only in this direction. In these directions there was no electric field. Hence we found that flux is EA on minus X side, EA on positive X side, 2EA. Charge density was, surface charge density was sigma, area was A, area element, that area we took is sigma A upon epsilon naught, and we got this E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. Now let us read something about this. N is a unit vector normal to the plane and going away from it. So what is N? So this is our sheet. N is the normal vector. On this side normal in this direction, on that side normal on that direction, but going outwards, going away from it. Okay. E is directed away from the sheet if sigma is positive. That means we consider it to be a positive sheet. That's why N is N is outwards, and towards the plate, what would it be? It would be inside towards the plate. That means if it is the plate, it should be inside. If charge is negative, we consider here it as positive charge. Note that the above application of Gauss law brought out an additional fact. There is also one fact: E is independent of X. There is no R or X dependence. For finite larger plane sheet 1.33, that means this equation is approximately true in the middle regions of the planar sheet. So what they are trying to say in these lines, so this approximation is only true if the plane or the sheet is infinitely large, but in real life nothing is infinitely large. But for a very big sheet, this is approximately true for the middle region where the ends are very far. But here we can see that E is independent of X, so there is no effect of distance as well. So let us summarize. For point charge, 1 by r square. For dipole, 1 by r cube. For wire, 1 by r. For plane sheet, 1 by r to the power 0. That means no dependence on r, no dependence on distance. Point charge 1 by r square, dipole 1 by r cube, wire 1 by r, plane sheet r to the power 0 dependence. So these are the dependence. Now next application of this Gauss law, field due to a uniformly charged thin spherical shell. So this is your problem now. So problem is that field due to a uniformly charged thin spherical shell. So instead, rather than taking a solid sphere, this could be a solid sphere. Instead of solid sphere, we are taking a hollow sphere. So hollow sphere with very less thickness, that means this thickness is very less. So we call it as a shell. This is your shell. This is your shell. So we are taking a shell, thin spherical shell. Thin means its thickness is almost negligible. So this time we are considering thin spherical shell. Thin means its thickness is almost negligible. We don't consider its thickness. Now we have to calculate the electric field at point P because of this thin spherical shell. So let us see the diagram first. Then we will solve this. So here are two diagrams. So for any thin spherical shell, let us this be the thin spherical shell, and this O is the center. O is the center of this. R is the radius, capital R is the radius of this spherical shell. Again remember, this is in 3D. This is a sphere, hence it is in 3D. Here we see it as a ring because we work in 2D, but it is in 3D. It is a spherical shell. Okay, so you can consider it as a hollow ball. And point P is there, r distance away from it. There could be two conditions when this P is outside the shell. First condition, where this P is outside the shell. Another condition is P inside the shell. There are two conditions. First, P is outside the shell, P is inside the shell. So remember in class 11 we solved a problem that what would be the gravitation on the surface of earth, above the surface of earth and inside the surface of earth. It is very similar. So what would be the electric field here outside this and inside this, and this at the point where this just starts. So these are three conditions. Okay, so we have to solve this, and now hopefully this is clear to you. Again, this is a spherical shell, and you know this is in 3D, figure is in 3D, but since this is thin shell, this is not a solid shell, so we will take a surface charge sigma, because it is not solid, so we cannot consider rho here. We will not consider rho because it is not solid, it does not have any volume, it has only surface, so we will consider only sigma. Here. So this is surface charge density sigma. For this, sigma is simply delta Q, that means charge upon surface area. Okay, now let us understand this problem. So what is the problem? Problem is that there is a point, the surface charge density of this spherical shell is sigma. In first case, point P is out and at distance small r. This is for first case. In second case, the point P is inside and again the distance is small r. The radius of this spherical shell is capital R. The first case is small r is greater than capital R. That means small r point is outside the shell. In second case, small r is smaller than capital R. That means point is inside the sphere.